And good morning to you. I'm your host, Mikey, from the Crochet Crowd, live here, home studio, Friday morning, 10:17 in the morning here in Atlantic time. So I know that it'd probably be just after 6 o'clock in the West Coast of North America. And of course, our people from Europe are already up and at 'em today. So just kind of hanging out, just trying to get my hands to be a little bit more better. So I whipped out some knitting last night. I know, knitting on the Crochet Crowd, who would have thunk? And so anyway, so I'll be knitting with you on camera, but you can openly talk about whatever you want to talk about, and I can see what you're up to today. So we have Ola already in the house today, and so I decided to just change the movement of my hands, and I've been going through some physio to get feeling back into my hands. And yeah, so I'm trying to learn to knit without looking. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. And there we go. So we have Cara in the house as well this morning. So I tend not to schedule these things in advance because I have to be in the mood to deal with people. So yeah, so we have Joy in the house from France, and we have Rhode Island in the house as well this morning. So yeah, so I don't expect a lot of people, which is fine, because Stitch Social is not about the quantity of people, it's about the quality of the people. I know. Can I get an amen for that? Amen. So yeah, so I'm just going to sit here and knit until I can't knit no more, or until I need a pee break. And yeah, we go. So Lisa says, amen. So okay, so you can, so we're starting to get more people in the house. So what are you working on today? You can let us know where you're connecting from today, if you feel like you want to. And Carol Jones from Alabama. Oh, I was thinking of Carol Taylor. She's from California. So yeah, so I thought she was like somewhere else. My apologies. I know, I see a name and I like flip out. So it's amazing. I can recognize all these names, but I'm really terrible for people's faces. Yeah. So my neighbor that I've been neighbors with this 6 months, or 6 years, I still don't recognize her when I see her in public. Oh, I don't see her that often. Yeah. So yeah, so this is kind of fun. So we have beginner knitting on the channel, and it was like a big effing deal when I did it. And anyway, so then I got all like pissy pants about it. So then I created a knitting channel, which I don't love, in the sense that I have to maintain 2 properties. But then I brought everything back to the Crochet Crowd, and I said, screw it. I'm going to have to put on my big boy pants and just deal with it. So I'm knitting. I'm doing the knit stitch now, but I prefer the purl stitch of the 2. So how long have you been knitting? Well, my mom taught me as a kid, just the basic things. The only thing I made as a kid, though, I have to tell you, is a Barbie hammock. She always ended up naked in it. I don't know why. So anyway, so she just enjoyed her little hammock. So, but then I didn't really gravitate towards it because it was like too slow for me. So I decided a few years back, just after COVID hit, to literally learn how to knit. And so that was a big deal for me. And my ultimate dream that I had, and I do have knitting dreams, I'm telling you, I know something's wrong with your host today, is that I really wanted to knit my own hat, because I like crochet, but knitting hats look really nice too. So that was kind of my ultimate goal. I know, don't judge me over here. So yeah, so we got that. So okay, so I just finished finished eyes on a crochet zebra. That's pretty cool. Loved the East Coast, by the way. Oh, Jay is here in the house. Jay was supposed to actually show up, and we were supposed to take Jay out for drinks, but just didn't work out. And actually, it was good. I was really actually sick the day that he was supposed to be here, so that was actually worked out for me just fine. So I started a pottery course a couple weeks ago, and so I've been getting into there, and it's basically a couple's activity, in the sense that Daniel and I are doing it together as a couple. So the goal is not to teach it online, just to do something. Anyway, we have a really great teacher that allows you to play with the play. So she gives you instructions, but then basically lets you color with all the crayons inside your box. Sex and the City reference. So yeah. So I've been ill for about 3 weeks, and Danny says to go to the doctor, and which is stupid because in Canada you can go see your doctor without any out of pocket cost. But I just don't like to interfere with the doctor because it takes away from somebody else that may need to see her more urgently. So I think I just have a sinus infection. But yeah, I found you live. I have been following and telling everybody I know about you. Oh no, only the good stuff, right? Not the perverted stuff. So on the shorts this week, we posted some group activities at my local Stitch group on Wednesday nights. Everybody's welcome to come on that, by the way. That's not a membership only. So if you're ever around and you're traveling through and it's a Wednesday night, you're more than welcome to come and join in on the antics. It's not a kids thing, so don't bring your kids, as you saw in the shorts. The ladies and I are a bit rambunctious and etc. Yeah. Okay, so Wendy commented, I hope you're having an amazing Friday. Yes, we are. So I was just at the Timmies this morning. We have a really good crew at the Tim Hortons finally. So they're no longer fighting behind the counter. You can always tell when they're fighting before. So a whole new crew. It just naturally morphed over time, and you can tell they're joking with each other and stuff. That's great. So it's a good way to start your day when the crew that serves you is in much better spirits. So Crochet by Mitzi is in the house. Hola, Crochet Solar. It's not Magic Hope. Oh, goes well with the doctor. Uh-oh. When you drop a stitch in knitting, it is like the most painful thing ever. It's like when you, like, if I drop a stitch, it's like wanting to punch a clown. Not that I have issues with clowns, but I do when I knit. I think of those blow-up clowns that I used to have as a kid. You know, you used to punch it and it used to come back. Gotcha. That's kind of that's what I mean by punching a clown. So what am I making? I'm making garbage. So in my local group, they always say, "What are you making this week?" And I'm like, "Garbage." So I'm just doing kind of a retro roller skate kind of scarf. Yeah. You're using one of my favorite yarns, so bright and cheery. Yeah, I saw it too, and I thought, oh, what the hell? I'm gonna try. So Sandy has lost her knitting mojo. Take a break from it. It's okay. And yeah. So Wood Pigeon is AKA Jay. So Wood Pigeon says that his wife says that he's a clown, but actually he said in the private chat that his wife said he's a brat, and we like men that are brats. I don't know why. Until they start diddling in somebody else's pool, then it turns from a brat to a piece of work. Then you need to punch a clown. So there's apparently a show going on, I think in Chicago right now with a lot of the ambassadors and Stitch host people and stuff like that. So and Daniel was mentioning it earlier in the year, and Sarah mentioned it from Repeat Craft with me that she was going, and I decided not to go. And I decided not to go because I just I have problems, but I decided not to go because I can't justify spending the money on it. And so you got to put your money where it counts the most. And I made a bloody mistake here in knitting. I know. See, it serves me right for going live. So anyway, so there's a lot of knitting hosts and or crochet hosts and stuff, yarn hosts, doing stuff over there. And so, yeah. Just let me recover from my stitch. Here, I'm Australia. I'm from Australia, can talk. I split the plies by accident, so I'm just going to recover myself. This is in knitting. This is called homicidal, aka tinking. I know, I'm making knitting sound like it's going to be a joy. I split a ply and it looked like sin, as my mother would say. Where in the hell is all my stuff coming from? So I'm not a great ambassador for knitting, that's for damn sure. You're doing great with your knitting. Yeah, if I wasn't screwing it up. I love the colors in that neon stripe. It's called Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Stripes. Color is called Neon Stripe. Neon Stripe is the day. Oh my God, I'm knitting backwards now. What am I doing? Oh, I got to turn around the other way. Oh my God. Yeah. This is called, is this called the magic knot or is this called like, I sometimes think to myself, why? You actually have a small crochet hook and you pick up the stitches. Is that my Michelle, my local Michelle? I think that might be my really good friend Michelle. Jilly's in the house. She's knitting a sweater with Karen Twirl, loving it. I was wondering about doing this in Karen Twirl too, but I wondered about this yarn more. So Michelle is saying hello. So yeah. So Michelle is the kind of girl that you call for when you want to go for supper with a couple. So yep. Is it still cold up in Nova Scotia? Not really. Light sweater. It's warming up. We don't really get our good weather until the summer. So Jay was coming in a little bit early. Jay came early. Yeah. So Sharon Hunt. Oh my God, Sharon, all the way from Newfoundland, is in the house. It has been a long time. Sharon, are you feeling better? Yeah. I like the picture behind you. Oh, that is a Newfoundland painter. It's not a real, it's a G clay, but it's not a real, it's not the original. Just so you know, just in case you're thinking about it. But you can order those online. James Young is the painter for that. So when I was there, I checked out the market, saw some cute toques and that looked like Daniel's Boone hats. There we go. Mikey, I had ordered some Bitty Stripes yarn from Yarn Inspiration and they eventually canceled my order. I almost cried, but that's okay. I will score some soon. Ola, are you American or Canadian? I know that that yarn is like on fire as far as popularity. Okay, Sharon's responding, another brain surgery in March. There's no end to it. Well, you're still here and you still matter. So I hope that whatever it is that they're trying to solve, that they can to do that. So Allah is American. So Robin's been knitting for 20 years and love the feeling of accomplished when it's done because it feels like so much more work. Crochet allows me to feel the joy, but more quickly. That's what Jay says too. You know, fast and furious. I know. I don't even know if he's still around, but yeah, he's probably like, oh my God. Said James Young, but the artist that printed is Adam Young. I always say James. Oh, yeah, it's Adam Young. He should be renamed to James. Always looking. Karen says, looking forward to seeing you in Alaska. I know I got to put my program together for Alaska. So the Crochet Guild of Alaska invited me to go up. So we're doing a weekend, a retreat in, is it September, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So it's like one of those horror movies. If you walk away from the camp, you're basically on your own with the bears, and not in a good way. Yeah, so it should be good. I got to get my programming done for that. And Yarn Inspirations agreed to sponsor some of it, so we'll get some yarn shipped up to Alaska as well. Yeah. So there is another artist in Ohio named James Young. Finally put in the touches on my crochet scrapbook journal. I'm excited documenting my projects and pattern notes. So Buffalo, New York is in the house. Go Bills, go. Thank God there's a football because they didn't know what that meant. But yeah. So I'm not a sports guy. That's why I kind of bypass all the sports updates and stuff on social media. All of Alaska is in the middle of nowhere. I was born and raised there. Wow, thank you so much, Christy. It is the last frontier, though, it feels like when you go there. Will you be doing any crochet patterns with the Bitty Stripes yarn? Any suggestions? I haven't got that yarn in person yet. I did miss it when they were doing testing here in Canada, so I don't have that yarn, but I'm supposed to get it probably in June at some point. So right now I don't have that yarn. So I think, so the US went first as far as like the stock that came in, and then they'll get it back here to Canada, probably for online ordering only. But, you know, Walmart could take it again. So it was tested in Walmart in Canada back in the winter of this year, and it went out like hot cakes. So anyway, they determined that they could bring it back and do another batch up. And that's kind of what's happened with that. And then the other batch that they tested in the US at Joann, at Select Joann's, was the Cairn cotton bamboo, or some Cairn bamboo cakes or something. So that was tested in Joann, and Select Joann's, and then that was really popular as well. So not everything they test ends up going out. So they just, I don't know how they select their stores when they do tests, but you know. So we have Trinidad and Tobago. Where is that? Is that in the Caribbean? You have to pardon my geography. So the Bitty Stripes almost looks like it's hand dyed, so that's kind of good. We have Catfish in the house, Tammy. She's saying good morning to everybody here this morning. Lisa, Gregory, thanks, Wendy. We don't have that here, and I wondered what I was missing. Yeah, so the journal is all set up, and I'm working on a sock design, is what she's doing. So Peggy says it is part of the Caribbean. Yeah. I'm leaving in the morning for Trinidad and Tobago for a week. So is it a business trip? Are you doing holidays? What are you doing? So here, because Canada is so related to the UK, I never call. Some of the Americans like to correct me, but they say you're not going on holiday, you're going on vacation. So I have a hard time saying it's a vacation because I've always learned that it's a holiday. You're going on holidays. So it's like, it's a UK thing, I think. And for those that are UK in the house, you can let me know. And there's always going to be people that are terrible for the grammar. Do you prefer Mikey or Michael? I'm awful about that. You can go either way. It doesn't matter to me. The people that are closest in my life call me Michael, because Mikey is more of a stage name. And I was talking to Karen this morning, so she wants to do a July or a May 4th short. So I don't know if I'm filming that today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. But I told her that I want to be Lord Helmet. So she's got a lightsaber and she's got the Leia costume. So I think the idea is just to go over there with a bucket on my head and let her beat me with the with her lightsaber. And her husband commented on the chat, says you better get your double D's ready because it lights up. And she says my double D's are always ready to go. Oh my God. So it's good to have a friend like that you could joke around with. So our neighbor's dog is over for a little visit. He came over, Sunny, so he's bouncing around with Salty out there. Any suggestions on Red Shirt Boutique sachet yarn in modern crochet? I don't know. That yarn is really limited. Let me think on that one. So I think DJ is saying that Salty and Sunny are best friends. I think they are too. Yeah. There's something else that I had to think about. A member on YouTube. So the members, you can always tell who's a member on this chat. They have like Michelle Jones, she has a leaf coming out of the ground. So that's a member out there. So it's a paid subscription every month. So they have access to the early stuff. Michelle Jones, using my Ott light while I knit right now, but I bet you it's not attached to your bra like Kelly's was on Wednesday. Look like a good light. I just got nothing to clip it to. I'm not just D, not double D, TMI. I'm just D, not double D. So that shirt that we did with the bra that was attached to my chair at Stitch Night. Oh my God, when Tanya took off her bra, it was almost taller than I was. I'm like, holy shit, girl. All that and a bag of chips. So there's some people that get really upset about stuff like that on the shorts. That are like, that's so inappropriate. I'm like, oh my God, get off the internet if you don't want. If you don't want to see inappropriate, my Lord. I don't know how some people function in life, honestly. I was going to mention my double D's, but got repossessed. I don't know what that means. There's a scroll function, yeah. Somebody said something to me the other day. I was so angry about it, so angry. And I wanted to run a short, but because they just made the comment, I don't want them to know that they really upset me. I forget what it was. See, now that I forget what it was, maybe it's a good thing because I was so pissed off about it. It had something to do with yarn. And I'm like, your world is that small that it had something to do with selfishness, which every culture has. So it's not a cultural thing for selfishness. but it was like, oh my God, what was it? Anyway, I wanted to reach through my screen and punch her in the mouth. Not that I'm a violent person. My personality is more of I'll run the bus over you quietly. Yeah. So Jay, oh, YouTube ads. Well, Jay, that's how everything gets afforded. I'm now picking up stitches for the ribbing. I don't know if you drop stitches or yeah. So what other kinds of shorts can we run? I like really sarcastic shorts. The educational shorts are kind of cool. I'm really addicted to a guy called Tugboat Spenny. Anyway, I follow him on Instagram and I cannot get enough of Tugboat Spenny. So he just dances underneath a ceiling fan. And I like the songs he plays, and he's easy on the eyes, and he's just fun to watch. So if I need a pick me up, Tugboat Spenny is my guy to go to. So let me see if I can just put my knitting down for a sec. I'll show you. So Tugboat Spenny. He's usually on my, oh, there he is. See, he's usually right on my feet. So he just dances away. Oh, watch him. So he just plays underneath the ceiling fan. Anyway, he just does all these stupid little dances, and he just looks like he's so much fun. He's married, so that's not even thing. Anyway, Tugboat Spenny, he is so much fun to watch. So yeah, I need a ceiling fan. I love music, dance like nobody else is watching. So anyway, so he apparently decided to do that during COVID. It was his kind of thing, and then his wife caught him doing it. So anyway, so all of his Instagram is full of him just dancing underneath a ceiling fan. So anyway, so we were talking about it at my local group, and it was assumed that he's actually doing green screen, but he attached his phone to his ceiling fan and just makes the fan just go, and then he just follows the camera as he dances away. Kind of fun. I could talk to you by myself in Australia. It is 17 and cold. 17 is very cold at 17. You're Australia, so 17 is not too bad. It's warmer than it is here right now. Yeah. I skip that type of shorts unless it's Dean from Supernatural TV, then it's on repeat. Okay, I don't know who Dean is, but that sounds interesting. And then some shorts I don't like if it's two-stage, so I try to watch that it's not two-stage, but it's kind of hard not to. But it was my stupid idea to attach the light to Kelly's bra. Yeah, 62 is not bad. He is very interesting. Interesting or easy on the eyes. Hey, I'm always looking for men that are easy on the eyes. But I like, if you were to ask me though, I like guys that are more dad bods than gym queens. But that's just my thing. Because I'm no superhero myself with the body. So I dated this guy by the name of Ryan 2 men ago. And anyway, he was a gym queen. Oh, that's Wendy. But he was needing to go to the gym every day for a couple, 2 to 3 hours. And so it comes at a cost when your partner's a gym queen. So I like a dad bod. That's just kind of my thing. And then I don't feel so self-conscious on my own body. Yeah. What are you knitting? That color looks really cheery. It is cheery. I'm just knitting a easy-going scarf. I keep thinking about roller skating in the 80s. So I'm just kind of, yeah. What's in the coffee cup is just tea. I'm a tea drinker. I don't drink coffee. I started drinking coffee. So when I caught COVID, my whole taste buds changed. And then I could actually drink coffee for the first time. But the problem is that I have ADHD and the coffee interferes with my personality. It interferes and makes me very, very tired. So I had to go see the doctor about that. And apparently the caffeine in coffee is different than the tea. And therefore it puts me to sleep, like literally collapse over sleep. I know. But that's why I'm enjoying wine, because I caught COVID and I actually can handle wine because I couldn't do wine before. So Tony roller skated in the 70s. Holy cow. Yeah. Dad bod with dad jokes. There's another host that I follow on Instagram. Anyway, she finds the most inappropriate jokes for her husband. They're one-liner pickup lines. And anyway, they are so inappropriate. So she surprises him with these lines, and I don't know where she comes up with them, but I'm like, some of them are really quite shocking. And so anyway, that might be a dad bod joke there somewhere. Yeah. 60s skating, Jillies in the 60s skating. I wasn't born in the 60s. Yeah. The wheels were round then. The wheels were round, and you know what? There was at least 4 of them, because I can't do the inline skating. Inline skating and me. I tried inline skates and I went right into a bush. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. Mikey eats a bush. Anyway, I ended up with cuts and stuff because I couldn't figure out how to stop, and I was going downhill. So anyway, this boy flew down a hill screaming, and then it was either the lake or bush, and so I chose bush. I should have chose the lake in retrospect. Yeah. See, and those are the kind of the shorts that I don't mind. I don't like ice skating because I have weak ankles. That's my excuse. And I know that's what happens when your ankles are always in the air. Like when you're lazy boy and you got your feet up. So because I sit in my chair all the time, I don't think I have very strong ankles. There you go. Yes, leg warmers in the 1980s. Okay, so shush. Jilly says shush. My favorite colors escape pom-poms were red and black. So of the girls, Jilly's included, did you have pom-poms on your roller skates? Yeah. And leg warmers, let's get physical. Worst video ever, Chase. With who is the name of the chick that did that? Olivia Newton-John, was it? She was on Grease, I think. Worst video ever. I almost missed stirrup pants. Oh my God, my wife won her stirrup pants. Everybody's in leggings and stirrups. My other pom-poms and everything. I love pom-poms. So the arthritis has said no to skating. I have twin boys that are asking me to crochet all kinds of stuff for them, and they love it, and they're 5 years old. Well, keep crocheting, because they'll remember that for a lifetime that you were a crocheter. Oh, so it is Olivia Newton-John, and yes, it was Grease. Yeah, her video is just horrible. So Shirley is like pom-poms and everything. It says her mother, oops. So yeah, so it's kind of, so we're binge watching a series on Netflix right now called The Big Door Prize. Anybody seen that? It's really fascinating. It took a bit to get into, but now I want to find out what's going on. So though I don't read books, it almost makes me want to read a book. Almost, but I'm not that stupid. I'll just wait. The other thing is that Wendy and I here on the chat, we are Circle junkies. So the reality show, The Circle. So I did a short on it last Sunday. And anyway, we just wait there. So Wendy, are you caught up with your Circle? I saw it on Wednesday night and I binged it till like 1 a.m. So you caught up on The Circle. Oh, I know. So who do you think they're going to take out? I think he's going to take out the big girl. Not size-wise, but powerful-wise. I think he's going to take her out. We won't say who, so we don't run it for anybody. Yeah. Ola is saying goodbye for now. I'm with you. I don't read books either. Thank God. Yeah. It should almost be like, if you're a reader, you can't be part of this. I spend my time rewatching Stargate. The series. I never got into the series, but I like the original movie. Thanks for no spoilers. Yeah. If he's smart, he'll take her out and let the house of the cards fall. Yeah, I think that's the smart move, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, she just sent me a, yeah, I agree. Wendy, she just sent me a text message. Yep, we're both thinking the same person. I have a question. The Red Heart Super Skein 1,000 grams. I love it. Only seen it in 5 colors on Etsy. Someone was selling it in many different colors. Was that real? Is this? You know what? That's a great question for Yarn Inspirations. I don't know that answer. Have you checked? Oh, now see, look what you made me do. You made me put down my knitting. Let me just check. Yarn Inspirations. What did you call it? You called it Super Saver 1,000 grams. Super Saver 1,000. There's only 5 colors of it. According to, well, that's Canadian side. Let me go into the American side. The United States, there's only 5 colors. There's white, black, cherry red, soft navy, and hunter green. So let me just check. I'm just putting 1,000 grams in the search on Yarn Inspirations. See what else comes up. Oh, there's another one. Nope, same thing. So it's 35.3 ounces, aka 1,000 milligrams. I used to read 3 books a week. Now I listen to them while I crochet and drive. So I don't know why I'm knitting. I'm just knitting. Yeah. Crochet Loving. It was made by Red Heart Comfort. That was made in a huge size. Red Heart Comfort, is that 1,000 grams? Red Heart Comfort is like found in Walmart, Canada. I read a book typically. I don't read. I just never got into it. It just puts me to sleep. Starred 56 is online with us today. I never, even as a kid, so funny. So as a kid, I had to read a book for a book report. I never read the damn thing. But anyway, the teacher gave us a test on the book that we read, and I made up all this crap, and I ended up getting an A plus. I beat everybody, and yet I didn't even read the damn book. I don't even know how that's possible. I just read the back cover. So I'm reading a book. So I bought yours last month. Thank you so much for the support to buy our book. Summer Stitch Along. I don't know. Actually, I saw a question on the Maker Studio. Wendy, do you want to post a link of the? We do have a new chat on Facebook for those that like it. We do have a new group. We're not letting it get out of control like it was on the Stitch Social, but we can post a link there, and you can make sure that you answer all the damn questions when you apply for membership. Anybody that doesn't answer all the questions doesn't go into the group, and so we're making the group intentionally small, so it's not as active because we're not wanting a group that goes out of control. We have COVID-19 in Australia. My mom's nurse, there's a lockdown. We had to put on a mask and COVID, even face show. Yeah. So anyway, so that link that Wendy just posted is for the new group. Wendy is the main moderator for there. But we figured out how to maintain a group without a lot of BS like we did before. And so what's happened what's changed, the main part that's changed, which was Wendy's idea, so this is not me thinking, is that the group always goes in chronological order. So you know how people fight on groups and then the stuff comes back to the top? It bubbles back up because it gets a lot of excitement. So what we're doing in this group is that everybody is getting fair chance for being on top. And so every time you come back to the group, you should just scroll down and see what you missed. And we're not being very polite about it. If you don't answer the questions when you apply for membership, you're not in. That's just the only way to save the drama. So far, so good. I don't think there's been any issues. I think somebody tried to sell something, and then we took them out of the group because that's a complete violation. So we're just trying to make the group nice and easy flowing, inspirational, but not crazy size like the original was. So Trish just joined the group. So it may not be as fun because of the way that it's set up, but it saves the drama because, you know, human beings are a piece of work. But actually, it's been really quite inspirational just to see people with the stitch alongs and stuff like that, just going their own route and seeing what they come up with there. And then my own personal communications thing. Why are you guys still using Facebook? Because I'm old. I like Facebook. I do. I know, probably shouldn't admit it, but I do like Facebook. But it's my generation of Facebook, right? Instagram, I don't mind so much, but I don't private message on Instagram at all. Yeah, but I am totally addicted to the Instagram Reels. You miss MySpace. I never was on MySpace. That was after I never got online early enough for MySpace. So, okay, so what's wrong with Facebook to your point of view? So Wendy's asking as well. Care to elaborate? So yeah, so Facebook's not for everybody, but you know, you got to watch what you post online too. Especially if you're applying for jobs and people can read back on your history of all your ranting and raving. I don't even know if employers are allowed to look at your Facebook when they decide if they're going to hire you or not. But it seems like it makes sense because you know what you're getting yourself into then. Oh, was that before Wendy's communicating with me? Was that before or is this like right now? Oh. Mhm. Those dings are Wendy just getting a hold of me. Interesting. Actually, I better open on the other window. I better open that chat. Oh, jeez. Mom, you have the power, right? Okay, so we'll keep on going. Is this neon stripes? It certainly is. Okay, we have keep in touch with the childhood friends, family, newer friends, YouTube. Never post it publicly for safety. It's probably a good thing, honestly. Discovered hyperbolic crochet. I know what that is for fidget toys. That's a cool idea. Um, so you want to learn the way that I knit. So we have knitting videos here on the channel if you need it. Checking in from New Mexico. My favorite state in the US is New Mexico. What is hyperbolic? I'll let Star explain what that is. I know what that is. So are we all caught up on our abbreviations in crochet? So do we know like what frogging means? So is there any other? I saw a new word the other day that I actually kind of laughed about. I forget what it was though. Oh, Lord, Wendy. Oh. Gee, I wonder why, Wendy. Oh my Lord. Oh. You should have seen the look on my mother's face when I told her about frogging. She was like, "You know how to keep ripping out your stitches, and that's it." Isn't that true? So one of the questions wasn't going through properly, so she couldn't answer it, says Janet. What question was that? So one of the questions that are asked is like, how do you know who I am? And the reason for that is that sometimes on the chats I have to step in and moderate, and they're like, who in the hell is this Mikey guy? And I'm like, fuck, I'm the owner of the company. So anyway, so we make sure that people understand who I am, so that if I have to come in there and raise hell, then they know who I am, or if I share a story or two. But so far it's been good. So that's good. So it's been how many months now? It's been January, February, March, April. It's almost 5 months. Or did we? When did we start that? Did we start it in February? Answer, what do I know about you? Mikey, you teased us with the knitting sampler last year. Is this still going to happen? I did tease you, and it's not going to happen. I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. My problem is that I don't always have an advanced preview to what's coming out with Yarnspirations. So when they come out with something new, my whole desk gets flipped upside down, and then I have to concentrate somewhere else. So it's yeah. So that's kind of, so it's not going to happen. That's just the short end of it. Was Yanker, Rider, and Lifter. Yanker, Rider, and Lifter. Oh, Wendy. So funny. So funny. Okay. So Nova Scotia, I've been here now. How many years? 6 years. This is going to be my 6th year. I can't even believe I've been here that long. So I do love it out here. Wendy and I were yapping about this yesterday, but so anyway, so Nova Scotia, of all the Canadian provinces, is the highest tax province of them all. We have less population, so there's only 1 million people for the entire province. Where you look at a major city like Toronto, I don't know how many million people live there, but there's more people living in Toronto than all of Nova Scotia. So, and because of that, it's a nicer place to live because there's not as many people, but it comes at a cost where it's a higher tax bracket. I was thinking about this yesterday because even business-wise, to have a company in Nova Scotia is more expensive than it would be if I was to stay back in Ontario. But it's something I didn't investigate before I thought about moving here. Oh, okay. So good. Okay. We're starting to wear a mask again in the street. Well, you got to do what is right for you. You know, I was somewhere the other day and people are still wearing masks. You know, it's up to them. And some people just wearing masks if they're not feeling well as well to protect others. So it's a good thing. So I was never an anti-masker person. If anything, I was really quite religious about it. And then, and so even though the mask mandate, how long did it last here? 1.5 years? Almost 2 years. Was it? I think it was a long time. But when they decided that we were allowed not to wear a mask in public, I still kept wearing it for a few weeks, just because I was like concerned, and I kind of got used to wearing it. And honestly, when you walk by people and they're bugging you, you can always give them the look, and they don't even know any different. Yeah, but I do have a personal rule that if you're wearing a mask, yeah, that I'll just stand back from you just out of protection of your wishes. So I won't engage in a conversation with somebody with a mask, so it doesn't force them to speak. So it's not a rude thing. It's just a preventative measure, really. So Shirley says we have 1.5 million city. What city are you talking about? Dad and I still have masks in the vehicles. So our doctor's office no longer required us, but it went on for like years. So I have 4 pets, 2 dogs, 2 cats. Finally got your book. Came to the UK finally. Yeah, that's something I don't really have control where it goes. But thank you so much for the support to purchase the book. It'll be the only book I ever do. It took a year to write that, and I'd rather just sit here and make patterns and just give them out instead of going through the process of that. Is that your miniature studio? So this is my miniature behind me. Where is it? That was a symbolization of my bedroom as a kid. So it's constantly in renovation. So it's the other one that I have is actually at a spa. So I have a foot issue that I have to go to the spa every week with. And so it's actually sitting in the bathroom at the spa. So people are flipping out about it. So I want to do another one for the spa and change it out. So I meant to get on Amazon to see if I can find any miniature like spa furniture, like, feet soaking tubs or feet soaking chairs or massage beds and stuff, and set up a little mini spa within a spa. I'm surprised that lets you with the cats don't care about my crochet, honestly, and I never tease them with the yarn, so it's never become a toy. So Barbara says something about flooding. I live in Houston. We keep telling people we are closed. Oh. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Barbara's talking about. So when we went to go look for a house here in Nova Scotia, Houston was going through, I think it was a hurricane. And anyway, it got massively flooded. This is like 6 years ago, over 6 years ago. And anyway, so I told Daniel that if we were going to move to Nova Scotia, that I don't want to live close to the water. And so that's why we live on a side of a ridge of a valley and not in the ridge itself, because I had fear that, you could end up underwater. So even if the Bay of Fundy flooded, that wouldn't affect us in any way, like our house. But yeah, there was Hurricane Harvey. Yeah. So anyway, so it's because of that flood that we didn't end up with a property that was going to be closer to the water. We did think about it strongly, but then there's been a few hurricanes here in the last 6 years where those places have been underwater. So that we did kind of look at. So we're like, nice to look at, but it comes at a cost. So Barbara says it was a unique situation. It just put me in fear. Like, I just don't want to lose all my stuff by living close to the water. And then I think about places like Miami and stuff where they're still building on the waterfront. That's like, oh my God. So I was surprised he went into miniatures. I've been watching the thing. I love the miniatures. I don't like doll houses. I find the doll houses a bit creepy, but I like vignettes of what I did behind me. I like storytelling with it, but I don't want a dollhouse. I actually started teaching this is before Wendy's time, but I was teaching, I think in 2009, miniatures with Barbies. And so people were coming after me. Why does a grown man own a Barbie? How perverted is that? And I'm like, that's because I'm designing Barbie clothes. So anyway, I designed a few things and then I ended up taking them offline because it wasn't worth the pain in the ass to deal with people about that, of me owning Barbies. Not that but that's 2010. It's now 2024. I can own a Barbie today without it affecting me like that. But at the time I was so fragile and scared on YouTube that I didn't want to deal with people that are going to question why I own a Barbie. So we have Minnesota. Jeannie's in the house from Minnesota. So I lived in San FL, that's probably South Florida, most of my life. Left in 2022. I lived through many hurricanes and hated going through all of them so many times. So Jeannie's saying hello. So Glenda, that's right. There's a section here just around the corner that is on the Bay of Fundy level. And anyway, so during the high tide and a supermoon, I swear to God that whole area is going to be underwater, like within a matter of years. And that's not a great thing. So we have Jeanette all the way from Niagara Falls in the house. I looked behind you and saw googly eyes in the window. Oh, yeah, that's my pets. I can forget about them and they don't worry about it. Scrappy. And what was the mouse called? I called the mouse something. What was the mouse called? It wasn't Muffy. Muffy is for my Canadian friends. That would be Muffy from today's special. I don't think I called it Muffy. I don't remember what I called them. What I called her. Scrappy, and then Scrappy. Nibbles. Nibbles. Did you have to look that up, or did you remember that, Jilly? Nibbles. It was Nibbles. I always screw up on eyes. Now, what do you do with the finished knitting projects? I donate everything. I don't sell nothing. So we have Bridget's all the way from Halifax in the house. So Jilly says she remembered. Oh my God. Even I forgot. So all my stuff, because Yarn Inspirations gives me yarn to teach with, the finished projects end up going to charity. So this scarf, if I don't keep it for myself, will go to charity at the end. So I'm just working on basic knitting just to get my hands moving. So Debbie says thank you this morning. So somebody must have answered Debbie. Do you remember what kind of patterns you did with the Barbie? I could never get clothing as small enough. At the time, it was hard sewing. I did hats primarily. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was more like hats. But anyway, the hat designs are similar to real designs. It's just you use really thin yarn and a small crochet hook. I don't even have those patterns today. I kind of got really upset about it because I was in fear. And then I just wondered if people really were that interested in that. So what is this knitting you? I know. I'm so bad today, Bridget, so bad. For me, the basic knitting looks like rocket scientist. I do other styles, but I want to learn yours. Lots of Barbie clothes. My mom used to make with the sewing machine. So we lived in the middle of nowhere. And so my parents, I grew up on a fairground, as most of you know. So my mom would, during the winter months, would work on making Barbie clothes. And because we were big cereal eaters, she would cut out the cardboard boxes from the cereal and then put the clothing onto the cereal box and then saran wrap it. And so then special kids that came to the fairground during the summer, my mom would gift them basically Barbie doll clothes that were saran wrapped in the cereal boxes. So she enjoyed that. My mom was a quilter at one point as well too. So we had a pool table, and she used the pool table as a quilting setup for herself. So the 4 needles, I'm not a fan of using 4 needles. I like my circulars. So on Wednesdays, I would have to dress up. I didn't have to, but I would dress up as a clown with my dad. So my dad had Wednesday nights, Bobsy the clown. He was, and my brother and I had our own clown costumes, and we would dress up with him and stand beside him. And he was really great with the kids, like really great. There's a lot of photos that are popping around of my dad dressed up as a clown with that. So people remember that. So have I tried nooking? Yes and no. I did try it. I hate it. Yeah. So I guess Christine, it's not nice being ignored. I'm not sure what that's referencing. I'm looking up and down as I'm knitting here. So nooking is a form of kind of knitting. It looks inconvenient to me. So just not something I got into. So I have to do a product review. I don't have to, but I promised a company that I would do one on the contingency that I have nice things to say about it, but I'm struggling with it. So I took it the other night to my friend Kelly's and had her examine the product. And one of the issues that I'm having with the product is it's a personal issue. It's not a tool issue. It's just me. And what it is that my hands are lacking the dexterity to use the tool properly. And so I took it to Kelly, and so she likes the tool. Myself, I'm not so much because I'm having an issue with my hands. So I'm currently doing acupuncture, chiropractic, and massage therapy for my arms. Yeah. So do I have any experience with mohair? Not really. I've tried it, but God forbid you actually frog it, because if you have to frog it, you might as well throw it out. So mohair, I think, is a one you get the damn stitch done right. Anybody know yarn like that, where you try to undo it and it just snags onto itself, and then you just start ripping it? Yeah, that's mohair for me. So does the acupuncture work? Yes, it does a lot, actually. I can feel it instantly. And Puppy Dog is also doing acupuncture at a specialist. Puppy Dog has medical issues. She's always had them. Just dropped in. What are you working on, David and Tom? I'm just working on just a basic knitting scarf, just to keep my hands moving today. So Infinity Zero it's impossible to frog. The mohair is impossible to frog. I agree with that. It's the only downfall I think that there is. So Emmy says that I'm an inspiration. I think the community as a whole is an inspiration itself. I just happen to be the leader of it. But I draw inspiration from people just like you. The first 3 stitches and the last 3 are always different, but only when you're purling. So I keep forgetting that. And so to have nicer edges, I'm slip stitching purlwise. So yesterday I posted on the website about that for anybody that was interested in that. So I was doing, there's a whole theme of going with Bridgerton right now. So let me just take a look. So there's a whole theme of Bridgerton, and I did tutorial work for it, but I have to check to see if it's closed captioned. Not yet. But I only released it like the membership has it as of last night, but once it goes to closed captioning, then I can post it globally to everybody. I get in trouble if I post a video and the closed captioning is not ready. So it's easier just to let it hold. And that's why the membership has access to that early, because we're getting to it as I'm finishing it off my desk. So there's going to be 2 hair bow designs. You can see it in the homepage. 2 hair bows coming out. And then I got to take a look at what else. So one is knitted and the other one is crochet. So it's satisfying 2 worlds. And both of them take you through right step by step of increasing, and then the body of the bow, and then the decreasing. So that'll be coming out soon to the general public. Oh my goodness, the doily for Bridgerton stuff. Did you see you have to make a dozen pieces? Actually, Wendy, we actually had that on a crochet cruise, that pattern. And it is a dozen pieces, and only one person actually finished it. So we have Miss Lady Lopez in the house today. Yeah. So Nessa, I wanted to try maybe a hat to start in the round. I'm trying to think. Mikey just, okay, what do we got here? I wanted to learn how to do Tunisian. I feel intimidated by it though. You either love it or you don't, but I would just say just grab a Tunisian Afghan hook and just try it. You may surprise yourself. Anita, our Tunisian expert, she loves Tunisian so much. I don't love it. I can do it, but I don't love it. You got to find what makes you happiest. In Tunisian, my favorite stitch, crochet is the Catherine wheel stitch for sure. Tunisian, I like the knit stitch the most. I'm definitely a crochet girl. It's faster. Yeah, so if speed is your jam, crochet is the way to go. But the looks between knitting and crochet is not the same, and nor is the journey. We tend to always say, well, crochet and knitting similar to each other. It's not. Crochet has been generated from rug hooking, and knitting is from nailing. So crochet of the two is actually more modern. I don't know if you know this, but so when they were doing rugs, they literally, somebody pulled a loop through the canvas and realized that they can loop on top of the loop. And so then they started creating textures within rugs. And so what they realized is that if they create a starting chain without the canvas, that is the canvas. So the thing about crochet is that it's made up of knots. And so the first row is considered the flat canvas. And so crochet, you grow straight up out of the canvas, right? Where knitting, you tend to knit and it's flat. So crochet is about making like towers and crocheting in the vertical, where knitting is in the horizontal. So I don't know back in the days for the knit question of how they did the panels. That's a question I really don't know. So anyway, so crocheters and knitters like to compare to each other, but the fact is that the origin of crochet and knitting is completely separate from each other, that you can't compare the two because they're not the same. So the journey of your hand movements, the finished items and everything are completely different. So we have to get ourselves out of the mindset that crochet and knitting is the same, because they're a completely different craft altogether. So there's techniques in knitting that you cannot get with crochet. And so whenever you buy a finished crochet item in a store, you should realize that there is no machines that know how to mimic the look of crochet. So if you're buying a crocheted item at a mass retail, you have to understand that somebody probably in a third world country making pennies probably can't crochet that item, because it cannot be duplicated with a machine. So, and then they still sell it for like 20 bucks or something, 20 to 40 bucks. And yet somebody actually physically made it with their hands. And this is why our work can never be like valued properly, because they're having people in third world countries making crochet clothing. And I'm just going to take a quick humanitarian break for a second. And I'll be right back. Go outside. Go see. Okay. So continental is probably a good way to go if you're a crocheter, but I never got into it because my mom showed me how to do the throw method as a kid. So people tell me, you should have learned continental. I'm going to do it the way that my mom showed me, because it kind of honors my mom. So it's always been a discussion. So English knitting, which is what I'm doing, versus continental is very different from each other. And continental is apparently faster. And then Silver Wolf likes Norwegian style knitting. I'm waiting to see who that was calling. We've had a bit of an issue this week. I bought a used truck, a Ford F-150, and we barely use it. And anyway, so it clonked out on me the other day. So I took it to get it repaired, and they basically said the whole truck's a write-off. So I think the truck is being picked up and going to the dump. Anyway, just really unfortunate. I thought we would need a truck, and we apparently don't. So it's kind of a huge waste of money. So, so what happens when you buy something and you don't use it? I'm thinking backwards. I was going in the wrong direction. So are knit patterns terminology all the same? That's a great question. I don't know that answer. Because I'm Canadian, I learned UK method, and I've shared this story several times, but when I first started the Crochet Crowd, I wasn't teaching American method. And anyway, all these Americans were going after me for not knowing my terms. And so I kept looking at my books, and I'm like, well, shit, this is called the treble. But apparently I had learned, because I'm Canadian, that the UK terminology is what I learned. So I had to retrain myself to say the words double crochet, because that didn't, and other things. So half treble, what is it? Single crochet, half treble, treble. So anyway, it took me a while. So then somebody on YouTube, after like weeks of going through hell, and they said, you're teaching UK method. And I'm like, I did not know that. And I'm like, so anyway, I had to retrain myself, because I'm Canadian, and we basically, when I learned as a kid, the terminology for Canada is basically switched over to North American terms, which is also called US terms. But I prefer to call it North American terms. Okay. Okay, do you do the samples before knitting a new project? On my stitch alongs, yes, for sure. And sometimes you have to do the project twice in order to check your notes. So when I first started with Red Heart back in 2013, there was a goal that they had to teach UK and US terms within 2 different videos, but I couldn't do it because I struggled with saying the wrong words for the UK versions. So I tried it. There's one video that exists, but it didn't work out for me. I had already switched over. So somebody's become obsessed, says Sheila today. So I went to a YouTube conference about a month or so back, here locally locally it was within the city, about an hour north or south of us. And anyway, so I kind of learned some concepts and stuff. And I made the whole room gasp. And so they kept saying upload, upload, upload. And then I thought to myself, well, because I like to clean house and get rid of old videos because, they're old, and redo them and make them new. I said, what is the strategy to take down videos? And the room gasped like that. And I'm like, what? And they said, you never take down a video. And I'm like, why? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, because some of these old videos, they may be popular and they get a lot of things, but then my teaching is so outdated and the camera work is outdated, and the picture is not as clear as today's technology. And they said, you never take down videos. Yeah. So Shay's Crochet Shop eCrew. Well, that's the nice thing, is like you should be able to ask a question like that without, going through humiliation too, which obviously you didn't do that. But some people are just scared of asking questions too. Don P, what are new stitches today? Is there any trending stitches right now? The granny square concept is really hot right now. Celebrities are wearing grannies. Everybody and their brother is wearing granny squares. I think Wendy must have shared something about a basket today. The basket is the most popular pattern today. I have a basket that's sitting behind me there. Anyway, Binky Boo sleeps there when I'm working. She's currently not there today, but she'll be back in the afternoon. What do you think would be a new trend? What is trending is the coloring going forward into the summer is all going to be like this. That's why I'm doing this. The coloring going forward is going to be bright and bold, and also very maximalism, something like that. It's really starting to trend, the coloring, and it's going to be around for a couple of years, they're projecting. So all of the new patterns that you're seeing coming out, Yarn Inspirations, are colored differently, and because that's where the trend is going for color wise. As far as new stitches, I really don't know that answer. So the bright and happy colors, I am too. Getting tired of the neutrals, but neutrals end up doing the best, because some people just don't want to do neutrals. They don't want colors, they just want neutral stuff. So it's nice to have the best of two worlds. So I'm excited. Their new patterns that they have coming out are really quite bold. So. And then behind me, I decided last month, or the granny square yarn that is out, I tried knitting with it, and this is what it will look like if it's granny square yarn. It turns out really nice. Really nice. I know. Not just a pretty face, The neutral is very popular for babies right now. It's so hard when you just like the color. Yeah. A good color I love to use is gray. I love gray. And then I had to design some Christmas patterns for Yarn Inspirations. So those went over to Yarn Inspirations on Monday. Reminds me, I got to ship out my stuff. So I have two. The patterns are already out, but it's going over for Christmas, so I had to recolor them. So for Christmas, what's going to happen is that they were looking for quirky Christmas ideas. So I have pot savers, cookware. So you put these between your pots to save them from scratching. So you don't don't use these as a hot pad. So anyway, I came up with 4 examples. So you lay these in your pans or your pots when you're stacking them. And then I have more of the basic version here. And so these are cookware savers. So these kind of went over. And then this one here, it's kind of cheerful. So I got to pop these in a bag and ship them off. So anyway, so not like 50 Shades of Gray. So I like working with gray. Gray goes with everything. And because my dogs are white, it kind of hides their hair a lot more. I do not have a tutorial for those cookware savers yet. There will be though. It's part of my problem for when I design stuff that people want a tutorial. So I have a lot of designs, but not everything has a tutorial, which people get upset about. So you use currently all linen napkins. Well, that works too. I saw the idea at a home decor store. So I bought one of the originals that they had there just to kind of like get the sizing right. And then to see if I could do it within Crochet, and I did. So it doesn't look anywhere the same as what the store version was, but I decided to kind of get it just for the sizing. So Marcia also has Pyrenees also. I love this breed. Apparently there was a dog that was a Great Pyrenees that the farmer has died, so they're looking to house the dog, and they said if they cannot find a house for the dog, that they're going to euthanize it. So anyway, so Daniel was like, Michael, I think we need to take another dog. And I'm like, we're not getting another dog. Oh, shit. Okay. Stand by for a second. I don't have a home phone down here. Hi, Dana. It's Michael calling from Greenwich. How are you this morning? Not bad. Oh, you already brought it to the to. Okay, great. Sure. Yes. I have it here. Yes. Yes, I'll do that. Where are you located, Dana? Okay. To Centerville, Halls Harbor. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll probably jump in the car. I will, like, do you close for lunch? Okay, sure. So how about I see you after 2 o'clock then? Okay, good. Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir. Yep, no problem. I will. Okay, bye-bye now. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think so anyway, my truck is going to my truck is now at the junkyard, so I have to go drop off my vehicle permit, and so that they gave me $500 for a truck. I know that's gonna be junked. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go talk to Daniel, and I hope you have a great morning wherever you are. It's now 12 noon my time, and I will see you then. Bye.